Through this presentation, I'll start a new chapter, that is South Asia and the contemporary world. For any assessment of the condition of democracy in the world today, it is important to understand the condition of democracy in the South Asian region. South Asia is the world's most populous region with over 1 billion people living under democratic systems or semi democratic systems. For different people, democracy has different meaning. Democracy, as an idea and institution, has different levels of support among the people of South Asia. But undoubtedly, the support is widespread. The various states in the region do not have similar political systems. Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, and Pakistan have parliamentary governments, and of these, India, Nepal, and Pakistan are federal republics, whereas Bangladesh is a unitary republic and Bhutan is a constitutional monarchy. Maldives have presidential system whereas Sri Lanka has semi-presidential system. Moreover, only India and Sri Lanka have been able to operate democracy successfully since independence, while Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Maldives have seen ups and downs in democratic stability. Bhutan has monarchy but has initiated transition towards democracy. In this chapter, that is South Asia and the contemporary world, we look at the experience of democracy in each country of the region, other than India, and also the nature of conflict and cooperation among different countries of the region. In this presentation, I'll talk about the domestic politics of Pakistan. The Indian subcontinent was partitioned into Pakistan and India in 1947. Pakistan originally consisted of two parts, West Pakistan, that is the current Pakistan, and East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh. East and West Pakistan were separated by 1600 kilometers of Indian territory. The Pakistan government was headed by Muhammad Ali Jinnah as Governor General and Liaquat Ali Khan as Prime Minister. However, its first Prime Minister, Liaquat Ali Khan, was assassinated in 1951. In 1956, Pakistan got its first constitution and became an Islamic republic. The constitution stated that only a Muslim could be the president of Pakistan. Within 2 years, President Mirza carried out a coup and suspended the constitution. Shortly afterwards, Army Chief General Ayub Khan overthrew the president and declared himself as the president of Pakistan. In 1962, Ayub Khan, who was secular and modernizer, established Pakistan's second constitution. This constitution prescribed that Pakistan was no longer an Islamic state, it became the Republic of Pakistan. However, Ayub Khan's this bold move did not last long. Islamists agitated. He was forced to amend the constitution and Pakistan once again became Islamic Republic within a year. In 1969, Ayub Khan resigned because Pakistan failed to win the 1965 war against India. Secondly, there were corruption charges against him. And in the East Pakistan, the Awami League raised the grievances of the Bengali population and opposed the dominance of Western Pakistan. From Ayub Khan, the power was taken over by General Yahya Khan, who in December 1970 held the first national elections in independent Pakistan. Awami League won majority in East Pakistan and demanded greater autonomy. However, the West Pakistani leadership tried to suppress the mass movement in East Pakistan and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was put behind bars. The controversy over the general election led to a war. It involved India and resulted in the independence of Bangladesh. In 1972, martial law was lifted and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was elected as president. In 1973, a new constitution was enacted declaring Pakistan a parliamentary democracy. It is the current constitution of Pakistan, which also declares Islam as the state religion. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto resigned as president to become empowered prime minister. In July 1977, the army under General Ziaul Haq declared martial law and arrested Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who was convicted after a controversial trial of conspiring to murder a political opponent. Despite international appeals, he was hanged in April 1979. Ziaul Haq became the president and undertook a program of Islamization, meaning bringing the society under Islam rules. Martial law and the ban on political parties were lifted in 1985. General elections were held and Zia-ul Haq was elected as president. In the middle of various conflicts, Zia-ul Haq dissolved the parliament. He promised elections within 90 days. However, on August 17, he was killed along 31 others in a plane crash. In 1988, general elections were held. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's daughter, Benazir Bhutto, led Pakistan's People's Party and won the election. Benazir Bhutto was sworn in as Prime Minister of Pakistan. However, within 2 years, President Ghulam Ishq Khan dissolved the National Assembly, dismissed Benazir Bhutto's government on charges of corruption and incompetence. Fresh elections were held and Nawaz Sharif was elected Prime Minister. The National Assembly adopted the Shariat Bill. That is, it codified elements of Islamic law into Pakistan's legal system. However, within 3 years, President Ghulam Ishq Khan dismissed Sharif's government for charges of corruption and incompetence. He himself resigned later in the year. General elections were held. Benazir Bhutto was elected Prime Minister for her second term. But once again, after 3 years, the President dissolved the National Assembly and dismissed Benazir Bhutto's government on corruption charges. In 1997, elections were held. Within the span of 9 years, that is since 1988, this was the fourth election to be conducted. Nawaz Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League Party won the election and he was elected Prime Minister for the second time. In 1999, after the Kargil War, Nawaz Sharif tried to replace General Pervez Musharraf, his army chief. However, Musharraf led a coup and placed Nawaz Sharif and other political leaders under house arrest. The Supreme Court validated Musharraf's coup and gave him executive and legislative authority for a period of 3 years. In 2001, General Pervez Musharraf took the office of president while remaining chief of army staff. In 2002, he won a referendum on his presidency. A general election was also held and he got 5 more years to rule. In 2007, President Musharraf dismissed Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. This prompted a nationwide protest. Musharraf imposed a state of emergency. The National Assembly, meanwhile, completed its 5-year term for the first time in Pakistan's history. Elections were to be held. Benazir Bhutto returned to the country to campaign in the general elections, but was killed in a bomb attack in Rawalpindi. After the general elections, Asif Ali Zardari, that is Benazir Bhutto's widower and the co-chairman of the Pakistan's People's Party, replaced Musharraf as the president. Caught in the middle of scandals involving corruption charges, the government came under the pressure from the opposition to hold early elections. Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani lost his seat in parliament. He was found guilty of contempt of court. He did not implement a Supreme Court order to reopen a corruption case involving President Asif Ali Zardari. However, he became the longest serving Prime Minister in Pakistan's history. Parliament approved Nawaz Sharif as Prime Minister after his Muslim League party won parliamentary elections. After the completion of a 5-year term by the government, general elections were held in July 2018. Pakistan had third consecutive transfer of power from one civilian government to another in the country's 71-year history. Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf emerged as the largest party in the country, and he was sworn in as the 22nd Prime Minister of Pakistan. However, the months leading up to the elections demonstrated the power of the military. Pakistan's military establishment continues to retain dominant influence even over foreign and security policies. For just over half of its 72 years of independence, Pakistan has been ruled by its powerful military. Democratically elected governments have struggled to complete their terms, being alternatively dismissed by president or removed from power by army chiefs. It has been difficult for democracy to take roots. Until 2013, Pakistan did not experience even one democratic transfer of power from one democratically elected government that had completed its tenure to another. Although implementation of democracy was one of the objectives of Pakistan, democracy has not succeeded in Pakistan, and there are certain factors which are responsible for it. Let us discuss those factors. Pakistan lacked strong political institutions like legislative bodies, political parties, judiciary, and media, which could ensure regular elections based on universal adult franchise and free and fair manner. Army intervenes into the political domain. All four military regimes have remained characterized with impositions of martial law, ban on political parties, censorship on media, dissolution of assemblies, and suspension of constitutions. Thus, they destroyed political institutions. Unfortunately, party system in Pakistan has remained very weak, hence created space for non-political forces to emerge into political arena. Social structure of Pakistan is by and large feudal, and it has been obstructing democratic process. Most of the political leaders are just feudal lords. In this feudal culture, millions of people are landless and illiterate peasants who are living in acute poverty. The dominance of clergy has also been an important factor in overthrowing the democratic governments. Both civilian and military leaders have used Islam to gain legitimacy for their rule. Political parties use Islamic causes for short-term political gains. Under military ruler Ziaul ul Haq, Islamization acquired the full backing of the state. Pakistan's conflict with India has made the pro-military groups more powerful. The United States and other Western countries have also favored military dictatorship. They believe that the threat of global Islamic terrorism can be countered by establishing military rule in Pakistan. Thus, they see military regime as protector of their interests in West Asia and South Asia. To sum up, we can say that the first 5-year term of an elected government started in 2013 and 2018 signifies the first democratic transfer of power. The first democratic transfer of power between two governments is a milestone in the country's 71-year history. However, the state of democracy is questionable. It is unsure whether politics and politicians in Pakistan can ever be immune to the influence of the military and clergy and implement an agenda that is reflective of the mandate of the people. Pakistan faces high levels of corruption and popular dissatisfaction with democracy.